Diablo 3 and its expansion packs finally hit both generations of consoles, and the version I've got here is the PS3 version. And now I do own a PS4, but I didn't want to get that because it's double the price of this. This cost me £25 and the PS4 version is gets up to about £55. I mean, fair enough having a price hike for the next generation version of the game, but the content is exactly the same in this. The only difference is the PS4 version's in 1080p and this runs at 720. I mean, you're paying double the price just for a small jump in resolution. It seems stupid. Anyway, enough of that. Diablo 3 is a dungeon crawling loot fest RPG where you can pick one of 6 classes. First being the Barbarian, which is the big brawler tank type. The second being the Witch Doctor, which is similar to like a Necromancer type character in an RPG. Then you've got the hand-to-hand fighter, the Monk, the Wizard, which is self-explanatory, the Demon Hunter, which is similar to a Ranger, and finally the Crusader, which is a Paladin type character. The game has a 5-act story campaign, the 5th being the expansion pack, and the story feels a bit disconnected. The story revolves around NPC characters and not your own character, so you're kind of just this helping hand throughout the whole thing. And I find it quite hard to understand as well. Now, I've only played Diablo 2 a bit, so that might explain why, but a lot of the characters talk about things that I think happened in the previous games and events from that, and it assumes that as new players know what they're on about. But the focus for Diablo 3 feels more like it's about the gameplay than a story-focused RPG like Dragon Age. Diablo feels more focused on building your character as well. Loot's obviously the biggest part in that. Loot drops from everywhere, from enemies, chests, weapon racks, and just lying about. The gameplay doesn't get repetitive either because of the steady sense of progression. At the start of the game you start out with only one move, and as you level up you gain more and more, and you can swap them out on the fly to really mix up your playstyle. You also get 5 runes for each move as well, so I'll give you an example. My Crusader had a rune for his shield bash attack where you can charge into enemies and the shield will shatter and all the shards would damage enemies nearby. Stuff like that to, again, keep it mixed up. So there's hundreds of combinations of moves you can equip your character with, and you can really hone in on what's best for you. And it controls great on console as well. Each move's mapped to a different button on the controller, and the left stick's used for movement instead of clicking everywhere with your mouse on the PC version. The right stick is used for a dodge roll, which is a console exclusive move. And the only real problem with the gameplay is if you're a melee focused character, there's lots of enemies on screen at once in this game. And if you're in the middle of all of them, it can be a hard time to see where you are. And luckily there's an icon above your character's head that shows you where they are. Obviously, to sort out all your equipment, moves, runes, there's a lot of menus to get through. And I've got to say, on the console it's a bit finicky. There's a lot of text involved, and some of these menus take a lot of navigation to get to. Besides the story mode, you've got adventure mode as well, which is basically you wander around the game world at your own will, getting bounties on enemies from the game. And you can do this in a party or on your own. There's also 10 different difficulty modes, and about 6 of them you have to unlock. So if you're a really psychotic completionist, this game's going to last you forever. Now, I can't forget the #1 reason to get this over the PC version, and that's the local co-op. And it works great. 4 players on the same couch can play on the same screen, and that's the only problem with it really. You're all stuck on that same screen, so you can't wander off to the other side of the map on your own. But I suppose that emphasises the teamwork element of the game. I mean, I've been playing with some other people and I've never really encountered that problem of someone wanting to go Lone Ranger anyway. Graphically it looks fine, it's not going to blow you away, but the art style's really nice, and these CG cutscenes you can see here look really good. Enemy and armour designs look really good, especially some of the high-end gear, and the music's really good as well. It sets up an atmosphere when it wants to and really builds up when the action gets thick. And to round it up, I think Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition's a great deal on the PS3 and the 360, especially if you haven't played it before. But if you have got a PC that can handle it, definitely go for the PC version, since you can play in 1080p, and you don't really need a beast of a PC to run it. But the PS4 version, I know I haven't played it, but I can't recommend it. £55 for a game that came out 2 years ago, and hasn't much of an upgrade compared to the other console versions. But yeah, if you want the PS3 or PC version, definitely go for it.